Hey, how's everybody doing? It's Matt with the Investments Group. We're back with another hot stock tip video. We're going to get right into it. The first one we're going to look at is JDST. Alright, hold on. This is one that's been uptrending for the past couple weeks. As you can see, it's been in this staircase pattern. So we've broken above the 200 SMA line here, this green line. So we could see a possible retracement at about back up here at about $80, which is a 56% increase. So we could see that. We just got to keep an eye out for it. There's going to be pullbacks and there's going to be uptrends, so you got to be able to handle that. But this is one that could potentially keep going in the future if we see potential uptrend. So the next one's going to be DRNA. This is one that's at the SMA line, which I really like. We see that there's a nice bounce right at the SMA here. So we could see a potential retracement back to the previous resistance at about 1526, which is about 15%. But we got to keep in mind there is an earnings coming up in about 2 to 3 days on the 9th. So we got to keep an eye out on that. You could see a dip in shares, so we got to keep an eye. But this is a nice one to look at. It's in a nice pattern. If we don't see too much action during earnings, then we can relocate it. The next one here, FFIN. This is one we looked at a couple weeks ago. So we passed the resistance here at the SMA, and it looks like it's continuing up. So we got about 3 to 4% left. Continuing up here, back to its previous resistance, maybe even back to its even higher resistance at 66.80 up here. So that's about 5% from where it's at. So a decent one. We got to keep an eye out on it. It could start downtrending, but we got to keep an eye. But it's a nice pattern. The next one here is IFF. This one is already uptrending. We do have earnings coming up literally on Monday, 5/7. Yeah, that's on Tuesday. So we got to keep an eye out on that, but it's been uptrending pretty good. We could see a pullback on earnings. It could pull back pretty hard and then just bounce right back up to where it was. So that could be a good potential buy point to scalp it back up to the top and then eventually back up to its resistance at 146. So that could be a potential 8% and maybe 9%. So we can keep an eye out on that. We don't know what's going to happen, but it's a good one to look at. Alright, and if we keep moving down here, the next one's going to be MDB. This is one that's, this is a very good stock. As you can see, it's been uptrending for years. If we look back at the yearly chart here, daily, 3 years, it's been uptrending very well. They call this the Amazon stock, but it's not Amazon. It's a different company, but it's like the Amazon stock because it keeps uptrending. And if you look on the 180-day EMA, 180-day, we are right back at the SMA line here. So it's a great potential buy point to buy in and then continue up here. We got about 15% back to the high, and I expect this to even go higher than the previous high. I expect it to go 160, 180. This is a great stock. It's a company that's technology based, and they're like an Amazon basically. So it's a very good stock to get into. One I really like. The next one's gonna be AKCA. This is one that's a little more volatile, but we're back at this resistance here at about 20, 25, 26 bucks. So we could see an uptrend back to $31, $32. But we got to keep in mind the earnings is right here. That can really screw you. So you got to keep in mind that can be bad. So if we want to wait till after earnings and see what happens, and then we can come back and analyze the stock. But this is a nice trending pattern. It's already hit down here once, twice, 3 times almost. So it's a good one to keep in mind. Another one's going to be USO. This is one that's been uptrending consistently, as you can see. Bouncing off this SMA line. And we're back at the SMA line here at present day. So we could see an uptrend again and keep uptrending. You know, I don't know how long, but it's been uptrending, so why not take a position? Put your stop loss down here, you know, a couple percent, 2 to 3% down, and just ride it out. So we could see 10%, 12%, 20%. I don't know, but it's a good looking stock. It's looking good. The next one's gonna be Dust, DUST. This is one that this is I believe it's a negative stock. So when the market's up, this goes. When the market's down, this goes up. It's a negative reversal. I believe. I'm not sure exactly, but we can see it's broken above the SMA. We can wait till the pullback here. If it pulls back, and then potentially buy in and ride it back up. This one has a lot of percent, about 100%. I don't know if it would actually get there, but yeah, it's one to look at. It's broken above. One that I wish I would take in a position on is Apple, AAPL. This is one that broke above the SMA, pulled back here, as you can see, and it's kept uptrending. This is one I was looking at, and I wish I would have taken a position, because as you can see, it's about 26% is what it's done since it's pulled back. But I was kind of, I don't know, I wasn't sure to take a position or not, but I was wrong on this one. I wish I would have taken a position because it did a pretty good amount of gains on this. So the last one's going to be RDFN. Oh, hold on. RDFN. This one's back at the SMA line. So it's a good point to take a position. We do have earnings coming up. There's a lot of earnings coming up. It's earnings season. Earnings just suck so bad. So we just gotta wait. We gotta be patient. The more you're patient, the better it is. So we can wait till after earnings and see what happens. And then reanalyze the stock and see if it's gonna keep uptrending back to its original resistance back here at about almost $24, which is about 10%. But we gotta keep an eye on it. It's earnings season. I hate earnings because the stock price just fluctuates too much. But we gotta deal with it. So all these stocks are gonna be in the chat room in the description. We still have a couple of Polo investment shirts that I want to get rid of. If you guys want to comment, I will give them to you. You just gotta comment. I will give them to you. All right. I'll send them to your address. Just let me know. Like and subscribe for more content. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure the next week's a green week. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Take care.